She came up and said he did this, that. How the FBI caught America's greatest traitor.
It's a
America's
cold Sunday
greatest
evening on
traitor.
February 18th, 2001. A man in his late 50s walks alone through a quiet suburban park just outside Washington, D.C. To anyone watching, he seems unremarkable. He isn't nervous. He isn't rushed.
Does he look like he's hiding something in there?
Just a regular man taking an evening walk. He pauses near a wooden footbridge, looks behind his shoulder, reaches into his coat, and then carefully places a small plastic bag beneath the bridge. A routine drop.
Is that like a drug? Is that a drug thing? I'm guessing that's like what he's basically dropping off some with drugs in that.
Simple, quick, and no mistakes.
They catch him lacking when he's going back. So I'm guessing they're gonna come back behind them. Hey, what did you put right there? And he's gonna be like, oh, nothing. Left it, boom, check
He's
it.
done this before, many times. But what he doesn't know is that this time, he's not alone. All around him, they wait, watching, listening, holding their breath. For months, the FBI had been preparing for this moment. Hundreds of agents had worked relentlessly to track this man down. Now they were finally ready. After more than 20 years of betrayal, the hunt for America's greatest traitor was about to come to an end. In 1979, a former Chicago cop walks into a Soviet business in New York, one that everyone knows is a front for Cold War intelligence operatives. He has no contacts, no experience, and no plan. But he does have something to sell. Robert Hansen, who jumped from Chicago's police department to the FBI just 3 years earlier, offers to hand over top-secret details to the GRU, the Soviet Union's military intelligence agency. For $20,000, Hansen provides the names
Just for 20K, bro? Not even a mil?
of at least 3 Soviet double agents working for the U.S., men who were later executed. One of them was Dmitry Polyakov, a legendary Soviet general and a crucial CIA informant. For decades, Polyakov had secretly provided intelligence that shaped U.S. foreign policy. But thanks to Hansen, he was arrested, tortured, and executed, a betrayal that sent shockwaves through American intelligence. It's an act of betrayal so severe that it should have been a career-ending mistake. But the Soviets never revealed their source, and the FBI never suspected a thing. When the FBI didn't come knocking, Hansen realized that he was invisible, a realization that made him extremely dangerous for the years to come. And so, he did it again. For the next...
Like, bro, was just snitching for 20K. Wouldn't they be suspicious of how he got the money?
2 decades, Hansen perfected his craft. He never met his Russian handlers in person, never spoke to them on the phone. Instead, he operated in the shadows, exchanging information through dead drops in parks, coded messages left under bridges, encrypted files hidden inside seemingly innocent letters. The perfect mold, hiding in plain sight. But who was Robert Hansen? And how on earth did he deceive the world's most powerful intelligence agency for more than 2 decades? To those who knew him, Hansen was the last person anyone would suspect of espionage. He wasn't a flashy, high-rolling spy straight out of a Hollywood movie. He was quiet, reserved, a devout Catholic, a family man with 6 children. He lived in a modest home in the suburbs of Washington, drove an old Taurus station wagon, and attended church every Sunday without fail. But what no one sees is the dark, double life he's been living, one built on deception, secrets, and betrayal. By the mid-1980s, he suddenly stopped. Maybe it was paranoia, maybe it was guilt. But a few years later, he returned to the game. This time, selling secrets to the KGB, the Soviet Union's main security agency, under the alias Ramon, and later B. And the worst was yet to come.
That's actually insane, bro. Bro could... See, this like basically like selling. You're basically like a drug dealer. You're doing this, that, selling drugs, selling where from place to place. Then you decide to boom. You decided to do it one last time, and boom, you get caught. You basically had luck on your side. You start. Oh yes, no, it's not. Oh yeah, it is.
Dumbass. You're 18 now.
Fuck, I'm
Really think about life.
yeah, I know.
You're still a kid though. 18 is still young.
One of his most devastating leaks came in the late 1980s, when he exposed one of America's most classified intelligence operations, a secret underground tunnel beneath the Soviet embassy in Washington,
Like, wasn't
built
it
for
like
surveillance.
15 or 15?
Millions of dollars had been spent constructing the tunnel, but after Hansen tipped off the KGB, it became useless. The Soviets knew about it, feeding misinformation to the FBI and rendering years of work worthless. With every leak, his price grew higher. In total, Hansen made more than $1.4 million in cash, diamonds, and foreign bank deposits. But this wasn't about the money. Not really. Hansen wasn't desperate. He wasn't drowning in debt, and he wasn't coerced by a foreign power either. He did it because he could, because it made him feel untouchable. For years, Hansen walked freely through the halls of the FBI.
Bro, I don't know why the hell. If that was me, I would be paranoid, like extremely. I would literally be extremely paranoid. Bro.
Plain sight. While his colleagues investigated foreign spies, he was selling America's deepest secrets to them. He was meticulous, paranoid, careful.
And just imagine a spy from there. He finds out you're the one who's leaking the information and tells America, and boom, you're cooked. Like literally, you just basically cooked.
And for nearly 2 decades, he got away with it. But the cracks were slowly starting to show. In the mid-1990s, the FBI knew something was wrong. Intelligence was leaking, and highly classified operations were being compromised. Somewhere, deep within their own ranks, there was a mole. But the Bureau had no idea who it was. They focused their attention on another suspect, CIA officer Brian Kelly. For years, the FBI pursued him, convinced he was the spy. Agents followed him, tapped his phone, and interrogated him. But no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't find proof. Because Brian Kelly wasn't the mole.
So who the hell was the mole? Wait. So if he wasn't the mole, who the hell was the mole? Was he like telling his kids? He was probably telling his kids the information. His kids were probably the mole, I'm guessing. It might be.
Office just down the hall. Hansen had done something no one expected. He hadn't just sold U.S. secrets. He had turned the FBI's own counterintelligence tactics against them. He was proving his own superiority. He saw himself as the smartest man in the room, mocking the FBI's security measures and calling them amateurs in his encrypted notes to the KGB. He knew how they investigated moles, how they ran surveillance, and how they gathered evidence. And he used that knowledge to stay ahead of them at every turn. Whenever the FBI got too close, he backed off. Whenever new security measures were introduced, he adapted. And for years, he remained invisible. But no spy is perfect. No cover lasts forever. And in the end, it wasn't high-tech surveillance or brilliant detective work that brought him down. It was a single mistake, a careless misstep, the kind of mistake only a man who thought he was untouchable.
Bro, it's time for me to start thinking about life.
Would make. And when that mistake happened, the entire FBI was watching. It wasn't a slip of the tongue. It wasn't a defector naming names. It wasn't even a surveillance operation that finally exposed him. It was a trash bag. Hansen's espionage had always been defined by precision. His dead drops were carefully planned. His communications were encrypted. He never took unnecessary risks. But after 22 years of playing the perfect spy, he got sloppy.
Oh my lord, bro.
In late 2000, the FBI paid $7 million for a classified file from an informant inside Russian intelligence. Inside the file was something that changed everything, a voice recording. On the tape was the voice of an American spy, giving instructions to his Russian handlers. The informant didn't know his name, but he had one crucial piece of evidence, a plastic trash bag.
So how the hell? So how the hell did it
was a torn
catch
garbage
him?
bag that the mole had once used to wrap a drop of classified materials.
Oh, they probably took fingerprints and everything.
And on that bag, written in blue ink, was a partial fingerprint. For the first time, the FBI had a physical lead, so a forensic team got to work immediately. The fingerprint was weak, But there was enough. Enough to match it to one man, Robert Hansen.
Bro. Bro, that's what you need. Why the fuck did he... Oh, should have been wearing gloves wherever he went. Actually, no. That's gonna be suspicious already.
After 22 years of deception, the spy who thought he was invisible had just left his fingerprint on his own downfall. The FBI had their man, but knowing wasn't enough. They needed proof, and not just any proof. Evidence so undeniable that Hansen would have no way out. For 2 decades, he had avoided detection, outsmarting every
Just
counterintelligence.
that one mistake basically fucked them up. That one mistake fucked them up.
If they moved too soon, he could vanish. If they waited too long, he might stop spying altogether. They had one shot to get it right, so they built a trap around him.
So basically,
First, they created a smokescreen. They assigned Hansen a new job, an executive position at FBI headquarters, overseeing a fictional cyber surveillance project. In reality, it was a desk with no real authority, no access to classified intelligence, just a way to keep him contained. Then, they watched. Agents followed him everywhere. His home, his office, his car. They searched his trash, analyzed his movements, and monitored his bank accounts. They even installed hidden cameras inside his office. If Hansen made one wrong move, they would see it. Still, he didn't break the pattern. He moved cautiously, and he never wavered. But in February 2001, everything changed. Hansen sent a message to his Russian handler. A warning. He told them he suspected the FBI was onto him. He knew something was wrong, that future drops were dangerous, that he needed to disappear. And yet, he didn't. For years, he had been meticulous, paranoid, careful. But now, the walls were closing in. Maybe it was the strange looks at FBI headquarters, the awkward silence when he entered a room, or the creeping realization that somehow he had already lost. Hansen wasn't stupid. He knew the rules of the game. The moment a spy starts suspecting he's compromised, it's already too late. Maybe that's why he agreed to one final drop. For the FBI, this was it. The moment they had been waiting for. Their case had been built over years. They had the recordings, the documents, and the fingerprint. Now they needed just one more thing.
more evidence just to convict him fully. He's gonna get like fucking 60 years, and they're probably gonna end his life in jail because he knows so much. So
Hansen, caught in the act. If he vanished before the drop, they might never get another chance.
he should have, bro.
He would be gone forever, leaving the FBI humiliated, outwitted, and exposed. But Hansen didn't run. He didn't disappear. Instead, he walked straight into their hands. On the morning of February 18,
definitely wanted to.
2001, Robert Hansen did what he always did. He attended Mass with his wife and children. He shook hands with neighbors, smiled at fellow parishioners. To the world, he was an ordinary man. After church, he met his closest friend for breakfast. They talked about their families, their futures, their plans for the coming week. Then, Hansen dropped his friend
I'm guessing how they knew that was because they probably talked to the friend. Most likely.
at the airport and drove to Foxstone Park, just minutes from his home. He had run this routine 100 times before, each drop as seamless as the last. But tonight, something felt different. The warnings he had sent to his handlers echoed in his mind. Had he waited too long? Had they already abandoned him? His eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, empty. Just another quiet evening in the suburbs. With a slow exhale, he exited his car and retrieved a plastic bag, tightly sealed with clear tape. Inside, classified documents, encrypted messages, and the deepest secrets of the United States government. He walked into the park just as he had for years. Same bridge, same drop site. But tonight, the silence felt heavier. The park was empty, yet something about it felt off. He glanced once more over his shoulder. Nothing. Just the wind moving
Guys,
through
I
the
had
trees. Pushing the
laying
thought
down.
aside, he pressed forward. He placed the package under the bridge and turned back toward his car. Within seconds, he was surrounded. Hansen didn't resist. There was no struggle, no desperate attempt to escape. He simply stood still, his breath even. The weight of 2 decades
Oh
crashed
shit! They made a whole movie about him, bro. The Breach.
down in an instant.
Reach.
The moment he had feared, the moment he had long convinced himself would never come, was here. His gaze flickered from one agent to the next, searching for hesitation in their eyes, some sign that he might still have control. But there was none. The game was over. Robert Hansen turned to the lead agent and muttered 4 words. What took you so long? After 22 years of deception, it was over. America's greatest traitor was finally arrested.
Sunday, the FBI successfully concluded an investigation to end a very serious breach in the security of the United States. The arrest of Robert Hansen for espionage should remind us all. Every American should know that our nation, our free society,
Bro is getting life in jail, bro. He's not getting free.
is an international target in a dangerous world.
In the hours after his arrest, Hansen sat in an FBI interrogation room, silent. He didn't ask for a lawyer, nor did he deny the charges. He knew there was no way out. Over the next few days, as agents combed through his home, his office, and his bank records, the full scale of his betrayal became clear. He had sold thousands of classified documents to the Russians, compromised countless operations, and put American lives at risk, all while sitting at the very heart of the FBI's counterintelligence division. When confronted, Hansen didn't beg for mercy or offer excuses. He didn't try to justify his actions. Instead, he made a deal, pleading guilty to 15 counts of espionage in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. On May 10, 2002, he stood before a federal judge, emotionless, as he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For the next 21 years, the man who had once
Getting he passed away or something.
lived in complete isolation. No contact with the outside world, no visitors, no escape. For 23 hours a day, he sat alone in his cell, with nothing but time. A man who had once moved undetected through the highest levels of U.S. intelligence now had nowhere left to hide. On June 5, 2023, Robert Hansen was found unresponsive in his prison cell. He died alone, but the damage he caused?
I'm guessing there was no camera footage in there. He was unresponsive because he probably ended himself, or someone else.
Instagram needs to fix its fucking suggestion. It just needs to. Why the fuck do I sound Italian, huh? Why is Instagram suggesting me the person who ruined my life? Why is Instagram suggesting me the girl that fucked my best friend's girlfriend? Dog sister. Neighbor's cat. Egyptian king's twin sister.
You'd have told me I was single.
Instagram needs to fix its fucking suggestion, bro. It just needs to. Why the fuck do I sound Italian, huh? Why is Instagram suggesting me the person who ruined my life? Why is Instagram suggesting me the girl that fucked my best friend's girlfriend? Dog sister. Neighbor's cat. Egyptian king's twin sister.
Hey, yo.
That still lingers. Some of the intelligence he sold remains classified to this day. His betrayals reshaped U.S. counterintelligence policy. And even now, decades later, the question remains, why? Why did a man with power, privilege, and access to the deepest secrets of his country choose to betray it all? Maybe the real answer is the one he gave when they finally caught him.
What took you so long?
What took you so
Damn. Maybe he just. I say. I don't know, bro. Maybe he stopped fucking with the president. Maybe. So he didn't like the president anymore. Because maybe they. I don't know. Maybe it was not. I don't know. He was getting 20K per thing. That's low-key scam. You should get like mail.